that's what I do, which I showed you last game. So I use my scout wisp to see where he is, and I see he's going to be creeping this. So I start running my units up there. My demon hunter is already level 3, so I don't have to worry about creeping anymore. Now, if I wasn't level 3 yet, I might think about creeping a shop just to get to level 3 and then come and push. But since I'm already level 3, I'm just going to go ahead and try and harass this little creep and give him as much trouble as I can. And take a look at my base. I have to remake those stupid wisps, which really pisses me off. But remaking those wisps isn't bad, especially when you're night elf, because those lure units are really wood heavy. And if you're going to expo, if you plan on expoing later in the game, then you're going to need those wisps anyway for your mine. So it's not that big of a deal. If you take a look at my base, I'm going straight to tier 3 because I'm on top of his bum hole while he's creeping this. That's the only reason I'm going tier 3. Otherwise, I would have stayed tier 2 and I would have done what Nagash did last game. But because I'm on his butt right now while he's creeping this, I know it's going to take him a while for him to get this mine up, and I think that I will have enough of an advantage that by the time his mine gets up, I'll have enough bears and I'll be able to push it. So that's my ultimate feeling. And the thing is, I'm just trying to take as little damage as possible while staying on his army so that he can't creep it. And you see that's exactly what I'm doing. Now you see he's going all in for the kill. So I mana burn for 2 mana. Probably not the smartest thing, but I'm going for the bottom kill. I know the bottom doesn't have a TP from earlier. Now unfortunately I had to TP out from there. I might have been able to run out, but if he was any good, he would have just walked his tree up like half an inch and it actually would have blocked me in there. But I TP'd back because I had bears in my base anyway, and they can just rejuve me. Now at this point you can kind of play this game 2 ways. You can either continue to try and push his base, or you can try and creep and expo yourself. Now I'm gonna push his base for a while here and just to see how much damage I can do. You'll see I finally used that staff, and I staffed onto my scout wisp that I had over there to cancel his mine. Now my goal in terms of this is just to keep that mine from going up as long as I possibly can, just to keep the economic advantage at a balance, or just to, keep my income at the same as his income. And then eventually, I'll have bears and he has dryads. But just because I have bears and he has dryads doesn't mean I win. Because if he has more dryads than I have bears, you can still very, very easily lose that game, that fight. Just because dryads slow, and with a Potom and a Naga, they actually do a lot of damage. You'll see I'm using my level 3 Demon Hunter to his fullest potential by kind of baiting him. I'm using my Demon Hunter to bait him to attack, because the one thing I didn't want him to do is I didn't want him to chase and kill my 2 bears, which he probably could have chased and killed 1, I think. But instead he goes for my level 3 Demon Man. So I bait him using my Dota skills, and then I run around through the trees using my Dota skills once again, and then I'm going to staff out once I run him up into the abyss of Tavern Land up at 1 o'clock in the map. So I staffed out and I saved my 2 bears, so that was kind of good. And you'll see while I was doing that, I started to build a Tree of Life. The thing is, you can start to build that expo as soon as your master thing is finished, and you'll see my master thing just finished, which means I'm able to fight him. You really can't fight him until you have master. So once I have my master thing finished, I build that Tree of Life. I build an AP just because APs rape dryads in the bum hole. So that's why I'm building the AP there. And the other thing is the AP. The AP, not only does it do damage to dryads, but it buys you enough time to run back to the expo if you have to. So, or it'll buy you that time to TP. But anyway, basically, more than doing damage is it makes him focus the AP before he focuses the tree, which is really, really good. So now I think I'm going to go creep jack here in the middle. I don't think it's going to help any. No, I think he might actually win this fight. I don't think I can fight this. I think I saw how many dryads he had, and I was like, oh, damn it. And I just keep running back because I really couldn't fight that many dryads. If you look at the food, it's 42 to 56. Yeah, his food count is way too high right now. And I didn't have an invol on my DH, and I didn't have a staff on my Naga. So I just run away, and I think I'm going to go creep another mine. Yeah, I'm going to creep this mine on the bottom. These mines around the bottom of Knollwood, they do drop really good items. They're like one of those mines that can drop a greater healing potion, which is really good, as I mentioned multiple times. Now, now this is where the game starts to get interesting because I have an AP at my expo. I should have built an AP at my main too, just for security measure. And if I would have had an AP at my main and my expo, I would have been able to just bank at 50 food, and he wouldn't have been able to do jack shit. And I could have just kind of ran around and crept the map and got my heroes really big, and then pushed up over 50 food and won the game. Because ultimately, the Demon Hunter is better than the Potom. Potom is better for pushing and whatnot, but if you have an AP at your base and you're kind of in range and threatening, in a threatening position, then you should be okay. So he sees my AP, unload my wisps, but the glaive attack is Imba and forked lightning and kaboom. Okay, but I'm gonna fight him anyway because I have bears and I have a demon hunter. I still don't have an orb on my DH. How stupid can I be? Why do I not have an orb yet? Man, that's something I really gotta remedy. So I should have an orb on my DH, and I should have used roar here as well. Once again, I bet it's because I don't have the roar upgrade yet. Sometimes I'll forget to leave a bear in Druid of the Claw form, and but it doesn't matter much because I have that AOW there. Now, one thing that may be subtle, but I should make a note of is I'm building another shop at my main or at my expo. Maybe I'm stupid and I don't realize I already have a shop at my main, or I don't want to run back or something. I don't know. But one thing that's kind of subtle is if you look at my army, I do have one Dryad. That one Dryad does so much for you because the one Dryad is going to focus all the same units that the bear is focusing, meaning you're going to be able to keep him from running away. So whenever you're doing this bear army, you want to have at least one Dryad with your army. Otherwise, because that one Dryad makes your army so much more effective, I guess is the word I'm looking for. So, and you'll see I'm still just kind of sitting at 50 food. I think I've gotten an upgrade. No, I haven't gotten any upgrades yet. Usually I'll sit at 50 food and I'll at least get the first 2 upgrades because they're really cheap. Another thing that actually counters this strategy that Insanity's doing really well is base racing with bears. And you can, like you just saw, I only had 4 bears with me and my demon hunter, and I just dropped that tree in about 12 seconds or so. So that works really well too. If you don't feel like doing what I did and making it a long game and expoing and stuff, and what you can do is you can just basically go straight tier 3 just like I did, get your 5-6 bears, go up to 50 food, and then just hit his expo with a TP, kill his tree, and TP out, which is really good as well. So that works. Yeah, so that does really well. I think I'm going to go back to my creeping ways here because there's really nothing else to do. I killed his expo. Now, at this point, I'm thinking that he might actually have more than one expo, but I wasn't 100% sure because I wasn't scouting. And the thing is, once he has this many Dryads, it's almost crappy to scout because your wisp always gets intercepted when it runs through the middle. Like at any given point, if you look at like the route my wisp would have had to take to get to that top left mine, then he would have gotten intercepted. So at this point in the game, I hate scouting because I feel like I always end up just losing the wisp. Oh, nice! I got a greater healing potion. That's a really good item. Ding, blow. Okay, so I built 2 APs at my expo. I should have built 1 AP at my main too, just to, like I said, just to buy time. And if you'll see, he's going to focus my Moonwell there. Now, if I had an AP there, he obviously would focus the AP and not the Moonwell. You'll see he's focusing my bears. I don't completely agree with that micro. It's good. He does have enough drides that he could focus it, but he could just A-click, which is what he's doing now, which is better in my opinion because it slows everyone's attack, it slows all their movement speed, and ultimately increases their damage the most and decreases my damage the most. So it does really good. But as you'll see, I have Painkiller with a greater healing and an invul potion, and he's doing work